Delay Techniques 3. So we've worked on the electric guitar, we've worked on the snare drum, now we're going to work on the vocal. Now we have this great effect going on with the reverb and the pre-delay on the vocal, and what we're going to try here on the lead vocal is kind of as an alternative to what we've done with that pre-delay. So we're going to try to just send her to basically 2 delays of herself. And so we're going to set up a stereo delay right next to her, just like we created the mono one for the electric guitar. So if we click on her, Command Shift N, Command right arrow for stereo, and Command down for aux input, enter for create. Now we have our stereo aux, and we're going to call that delay lead vocal, or lead vox. And we're going to do the same thing as before, what we did on the guitar, where we're going to Command click over to send G, and on there we're going to say let's use bus 17, 18. We have to use a stereo pair because we're going to a stereo bus, stereo aux, and we'll put the input of our auxiliary as the same bus. So now we are sending the signal over there, and the only thing that's missing is solo safing the solo there and adding a delay plugin. So what we'll do is we'll use the same delay we've been using, but the difference this time is because it's stereo, we have twice as many things to manipulate. So we basically have 2 independent delays going on at the same time there. So let's go ahead and solo this track and see what happens. Okay, watch what happens as soon as we start changing. Okay, so the cool thing here, and we've been kind of doing this before, is getting our delays so that they're in tempo. Now there's a little cheater sort of deal here in Pro Tools where we can just simply hit these buttons and they're going to give us our delays for quarter notes and eighth notes and 16th notes. And so we could say let's make a 16th note for the left side and an 8th note for the right, and this is what we get.
Yeah, one thing's for sure is that he will be there. Cast all your cares on who can solve your problems.
Of course, we bring that down. And then, of course, we could adjust the levels of both of these.
Yeah, one thing's for sure is that he will be there.
Notice how we hear more of the delay on the right because it's later. The delay on the left is happening quicker, and so it's not as noticeable. So if I pull down the volume of the delay on the right, I can kind of compensate for that a little bit.
Yeah, one thing's for sure is that he will be there. Cast all your cares on no one who can solve your problems.
Okay, and then of course we can actually take and add our verb 1 there, and we can add reverb on her delayed signal. So we're kind of doing a little bit of what we did before in addition to getting some of these repeats happening here.
Yeah, one thing's for sure is that he will be there. Cast all your cares on no one who can solve your problems. Cast all your cares on no one who can brighten up your day. One thing's for sure is that he will be there. Jesus.
So as you can see, it's kind of a cool effect there, and it's kind of up in the air as to whether the song really sounds better with a delay on the lead vocal or with that pre-delay reverb on the vocal. And that's something that as we finish up the mix coming up here soon, we're going to have to decide. And it's really easy to go back and forth between the two. You know, we can simply mute that track and unmute the reverb right here.
Yeah, one thing for sure
There's our pre-delay. Mute the other way around, and
Yeah, one thing for sure is that he will be there. Yeah.
okay, and we can make the decision which one we like. So I'm going to wait until we get further along to kind of decide between those two, but we're going to keep them both there so we can have the option to go with one or the other. So that's the last of our delay techniques that we're going to cover, and so there's some great options on things to do and a lot of great things you can do with delay. The possibilities are just endless, and that's Delay Techniques 3.